Hello, my lovely, beautiful souls. This is for sure your sign. Spirit is saying that you will very, very soon know what it means to be fully loved, cherished, is what I'm hearing, appreciated, fully seen by the people around you. And you are going to be surrounded by the most beautiful relationships and friendships and people that will just fill you to the brim is what I'm hearing. It's so good. I wish you guys could feel the energy that I'm feeling right now. It's like so good. And it's this sort of emotional fulfillment that you haven't quite ever known the depths of, is what I'm hearing. I'm getting a very particular energy with what I'm feeling here, and it's someone who in the past has felt very overextended. Like I'm getting that confirmation tummy gurgle. Don't know if you guys heard that. Very overextended. So constantly people needing your attention for things. I'm getting like finger snapping of like, hey, need this, need that, boom, 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 sort of thing. So you could be just a very prominent figure in your family system, or you could have a lot of responsibility at work, or you could have friendships or relationships, romantic or platonic, that are just very demanding on you, or people need your attention often, is what I'm getting. And so in the past, you were very spread thin, and I'm seeing a teddy bear on a shelf. Spirit, why am I seeing a teddy bear on a shelf? Maybe convenience, right? So there for the convenience of other people is what I'm getting. Like a child, kind of like when they want to play with the teddy bear, it's like, okay, I'll take you down now. And then when they're done with the teddy bear, it's like, okay, you go back on the shelf and like you stay there and I'll go do my thing and then I'll come back when I need you, sort of thing is what I'm getting. Very interesting. Yeah, so I'm definitely getting that you have also mastered your own personal healing, or of course healing is always an ongoing process, but what I'm getting with this specifically is that you know yourself inside and out, and you have a certain self-awareness that not many other people do. And that's not to say people are better than each other. Of course, we're all on our own personal journeys, but that's what spirit is bringing through, is that objectively speaking, you just tend to be more self-aware than the average person. For better or for worse is what spirit just said. For better or for worse, touche. There we go. But no, I'm getting that it's for sure, like, because I would definitely resonate with that, is why I was just saying touche. But it's not a dig at all. Like it's for sure a mark of, someone who's wanting to grow and wanting to learn and expand within your spirit and your full soul expression, right? Which is such a beautifully wonderful thing. And so what I'm getting though specifically here is that you have had to develop your own, and I'm seeing like a GPS system. You've had to develop your own internal GPS system to be able to align yourself with what feels true for you. And it's like, now I'm seeing, do you guys remember tetherball from elementary school? Why am I getting all of these like child things like teddy bear, tetherball on the playground? It's very interesting. But I'm seeing like you've released the tether, like this rope that was tying you to other people's reality, to like their expectations, their projections, what they wanted, and you developed your own internal navigation system, and you're like, no, actually this is what feels most true to me and aligned with me, and so I'm actually going to go in this direction. Like that's the type of energy that I'm really, really feeling here. And so I think it's interesting because I'm also seeing like, what is that? I'm also seeing like this big, like it's like a charcoal black ball, but it's like scribbles. It's like almost as if someone was on scratch paper and they were taking like a pencil and just kind of going burp, 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 until it's like this big jumbled scribbled ball. And that's what I'm getting, is like what used to be your life. So you could have thrived in chaos is what I'm hearing. Once upon a time. Interesting. And so that's what I'm saying, is that you're very self-aware more so than other people. You've really come to a place of a certain mastery of your healing journey, because you had to take that scribbled ball, is what I'm seeing. And you had to, like, I'm hearing piece by piece, slowly untangle that massive mess, is what Spirit's saying. So you have had to do that really consistently. Show up for yourself is what I'm getting. You've had to do that really patiently. Yeah. So this is something that's been a long time that you have been really working on yourself. And now what I'm getting, circling back to the very beginning, you are about to be surrounded by people or come into like some sort of partnership or develop a deeper form of a relationship, whether it's an existing relationship that you're just coming into a deeper closeness with, or you're developing new friendships or coming into a new partnership with someone. There's something happening here where you're experiencing what it means to not just heal individually, but heal with others, to heal in the context of a community. Ooh, powerful. Oh my goodness. Love it. And what I'm getting here is it's like as a collective, Spirit's saying that you're kind of, Spirit's saying you're kind of leading the way with this, because as a collective, a lot of us have been on a very individualized healing journey. Like as a society, I think we were at that point decades ago where we were just brushing things under the rug, and we were, perpetrating different toxic patterns within ourselves and in family systems and in, work relationships and friendships in our lives. And so it was just kind of a lot of, things that were not dealt with in past generations. And I think this collective, at least that I'm picking up on, you're part of this wave of people who have been really consistently showing up for yourselves and doing that internal deep dive into yourself to understand, again, having that self-awareness about what makes you tick, what makes you react in a certain way versus responding, what makes you be in a lower vibrational state with other people instead of really embodying a sense of holistic love, is what I'm getting. So you've come to a place in yourself where you've kind of like Spirit saying you've graduated from that class. Now it's time for healing 2.0 is what I'm hearing. So that was healing 1.0. This is healing 2.0, where now you're taking those lessons and those tools and those skills that you developed healing internally within your own self. And now you're bringing that into a context and in relation with other people. And Spirit saying there's a different type of healing that occurs when you are in active communion with others. Interesting. And what I'm getting a lot of like phlegm right now on the back in my throat. I don't know what's going on there. There's a lot, self-expression is coming out here in a way that what is this, Spirit? My gosh, it's like all of a sudden I felt like this, it's like peanut butter in the back of my throat is coming through. Maybe there's been a hesitancy in the past to be able to open yourself up to the level needed in order to access this type of healing, is what Spirit is saying. So there was a need to go back to the drawing board, is what I'm hearing. It's like you were navigating relationships in a very specific way previously, right? And then you went into a certain level of your spiritual awakening that required you to go within, and you had to circle back and go within yourself. I'm seeing like in the halls of Amenti where they talk about like you have to go down into the depths in order to reach, the records in the halls of Amenti. And I don't know, Egypt could be really significant for you here. I don't know why that came through. That was so specific and so nerdy. So no worries if you don't know what that is. I just do a lot of deep dive rabbit holes, but that's specifically in the context of ancient Egypt and the legend and the lore of the halls of Amenti, right? So it's like these record keeps and like different things down below the city of Egypt. Anyway, Egypt is not a city. Anyway. Oh no, what is happening? What is this energy? Oh my goodness, what is going on? Let me recenter myself. Your energy is really interesting. I'm feeling myself like getting carried away by these like tendrils of thoughts. And I'm like, wait, where was I? Let me like journey back to the center point. I love it though. Yeah, you guys are big learners for sure. People after my own heart. But yeah, so what I'm getting here is it's like, what was I saying, Spirit? Yeah, so it's like you had to do this deep dive within yourself, and then now you're circling back to be able to show up in a very different way in the context of these relationships because you understand that there's a certain level of visibility that needs to happen in order for this change to take place, for this, like, I'm seeing like in a lab, like a chemical reaction to take place, like for this healing, for this nourishment to be fully realized, there needs to be a certain level of like showing yourself fully, you know what I mean? And that's what I'm definitely getting here. This whole message really came about in inspiration from just thinking about, based off of, conversations that I was listening to today, and different things, like what does it look like to heal by ourselves versus being in the presence of a community and healing within the context of a community. And I really think what Spirit is bringing through here is, it's like, this is such a joyous time for you. Can I just say, like, to be surrounded by people who will fully know you and get you and really vibe at that same frequency is what I'm hearing. It's very special. So it is something to be cherished, truly, in the truest sense of the word. But it's also, I think, Spirit saying it's training ground for being able to go to the next step. So Spirit saying healing 3.0, beyond healing within the context of relationships and really being seen and nourished within those relationships, it's like being able to embody unconditional love out in the world, right? Not just in the context of one friendship, one relationship, one family relationship, or a group of close friends that you've developed, but what does it look like to be able to embody that sense of holding space and presence and unconditional love for everyone that you meet and come across? Yes, right? What does that look like? And I think that's what we're coming to terms with now. And it's almost like COVID was a huge catalyst for being able to spur a lot of us into our own individual healing journeys. And so now we're transitioning out of that. It's like there's a class that's graduating, Spirit saying, and what was I saying before? It's like this first wave. Yeah. Spirit saying like this first wave of people are graduating into this next class of being able to embody really high vibrational, intentional relationships with other people in a way that's so nourishing. And it's like when you're nourished inside and in this little bubble of your connected people, that just radiates outward, and it's going to affect everyone around you in the most, I can't even explain to you. Like, Spirit is giving me such a sense of fullness. And what did I say before? It's like these relationships are going to be filling you to the brim. It's like you're a glass of delicious matcha latte, and you're just like full to the very tip top. That's what I'm getting. I love matcha. So that's what I'm seeing, is like you are just going to feel so nourished and so completely happy in this next season of your life with these people around you. And it's not going to feel like a struggle anymore, because potentially you have had trouble connecting with certain types of people around you recently, where it's like you don't resonate with the types of conversations that are happening, and maybe you used to, is the point that Spirit's bringing up, right? Maybe. And yeah, Spirit's saying, again, this is coming back to you having this deeper level, like, sense of self-awareness, because before you were okay with this certain, maybe surface level conversation or certain topics that were being discussed, and you convinced yourself that you were good with it, kind of a thing. Like, yeah, I can hang here. Like, this is okay. This is fine. Whatever. Like, maybe you had like a little niggle inside, and you were like, something doesn't necessarily feel quite right with me, or like, this is kind of uncomfortable for me, or I kind of have to like squeeze into clothes that are a little bit too tight in order to be accepted or be one of like this group of people that I'm around. But it's fine. Like, I can make it work, is the energy that I'm getting here. But now you're coming into this deeper level of understanding where you're truly you know that you're not resonating at this frequency anymore, and you're not forcing yourself to. And so you're getting into like this new, I'm seeing like someone kind of like jumping ship It's like two ships passing in the night, and it's like these are the relationships that you're like, no, I don't want this anymore, and these are the relationships that you do. So you're just kind of like, okay, screw it. Like I'm just gonna hop over into this other one, and we're fully sending it is what I get. Spirit's saying full send, full send. And that's what you're doing is you're aligning yourself and you're jumping into relationships that are more of a fit, and it's like coming from this place of self-love is why you're doing that, because you understand that you desire a deeper connection, with people around you, and you're not satisfied with denying that of yourself any longer. Yeah. Okay, let's pause here. Let's pause. I know that was kind of a lot to get us into. I want to read this for us. This was a little channeling that came through earlier. And it's funny because I titled this at first on community, and then Spirit had me rewrite this to on being with others, because like I said at the start, this doesn't necessarily just have to be you coming into like a big group of people or friends or a big, whatever. It can just be maybe one friendship or one partnership, right? Or one deepening of a current existing relationship in your life. This is going to be different for each one of you, Spirit is saying. And so Spirit's saying that it's all the same though. Healing 2.0, if you want to call it that, in the university of life. The universe-itty, right? I'm so funny. Okay. Spirit's funny, right? It's like, okay, gotta check the pride there. That wasn't me, that was Spirit. Spirit, you're great. Anyway, so healing 2.0, right? That can take the place of it's anything that you're experiencing this deeper level of connection and honoring of another's like soul expression outside of yourself. That's what that means. So it can be one person, it could be multiple people, right? It doesn't necessarily matter. The work is the same. Spirit is saying the work is the same. Okay. So on being with others, to enter into a time where connection takes the place of isolation, where healing, intentional building of the self does not have to exist just in our individual efforts, the restoring of the soul, of the personal genesis within, but where healing can also live in presence with others who hold space, both for the self and the all, holding the lightness of play together and the shared weight of hard moments, a communal bearing of the things we thought we were past but aren't, when they become too much for the single spirit to carry alone. Not a repairing, but a reshaping of our being in a way that could never occur without the impact, the loving handprints of others in our lives. Not a redirecting, but a centering of the runaway mind. Coming back to and experiencing parts of yourself that can only come to light through the honoring of another's journey. When you witness others, you witness yourself. So, anyway, that is what Spirit is bringing through for us today. And I think it's really interesting when I was channeling that through. Spirit was talking about this is training ground for being able to embody pure unconditional love for the people around us. And first, let me circle back real quick. So being in the context of this relationship or these relationships, one or multiple, it doesn't really matter. There's this sense of like lightness and playfulness that I was getting from this. It's a safety thing that's coming out. And I know that a lot of us have been healing our nervous systems. We're coming out of survival mode, out of fight or flight, and just living in this like unhealed root chakra energy, and being able to now embody a sense of peace within the system, within the body. And I think with that peace comes this safety of being able to fully allow yourself to be seen and to be experienced authentically. Like I said, your fullest soul expression being witnessed by another person or by other people. That is, there's a certain level of communion I keep getting like communal communion that keeps coming through. There's a certain level of communion that takes place. Like it's almost like Spirit saying, like, it's almost like, yeah, that's like, this is sacred. This is sacred ground. This is holy ground, right? Being able to understand that it's not just you anymore. Yeah, it's like this responsibility. It's like you're impacting another person's psyche, another person's experience, another person's memories that they will hold for the rest of their lives. That's really dramatic. But Spirit's saying, but yes, Spirit's saying, but yes, period. Right. And so with that understanding, there's a certain amount of responsibility that comes with these relationships and being able to, and that doesn't mean we have to expect ourselves to be perfect, of course not, but being able to have, yeah, that level of self-awareness. Spirit's, okay, that's why Spirit keeps bringing me back to the self-awareness, and it's because that's a very big skill that you developed in the individual healing journey that's needed for this next phase in healing with other people. You need to have that self-awareness so that you can constantly, I'm hearing, like, recalibrate, because we're not perfect people. We don't respond in the ways that are needed, right? We have off days. We're just doing the do out here. You know what I mean? And that's not going to look like perfect and beautiful every single day. So, but to be able to recalibrate and to recenter and be like, oh, maybe that wasn't like the best way that I handled that. Let me go ahead and like go within myself, figure out maybe why I was triggered in that way. And then let's open up a conversation with that other person or with these people, to be able to apologize, or to be able to open up a conversation with someone else when they're the ones who are, I heard, trespassing, when they're the ones who like trespass against us, right? When they do wrong against us, being able to like hold space for that, not just within the context of the good, lighthearted moments, but also holding space to be able to have those hard conversations, but they bring us to a place of inner clarity and outer understanding. Yeah. And Spirit's showing me too that it's like being able to prepare ourselves to fully embody this unconditional love for the world. It's like being able to understand also that it's your emotional centeredness is to such a point that it's like other people's triggers no longer take you off your path. They no longer get you caught up in their own emotional tornado and their emotional turbulence. You're able to stay centered within yourself. Again, having that emotional maturity, that self-awareness, again, that came from this first part that you developed within your individualized healing journey. And now getting to experience that in witness in relation to others. It's like Spirit's saying too, when other people are triggered and they come at you, like, I just heard, come at me, bro. Come at me, bro. What do you got? But no, when people do, throw those swords at you of just like negativity or just their own triggers that they're maybe projecting onto you, you're able to take a step back and understand that, yeah, Spirit's showing me like an apple tree. Like an apple tree doesn't know how to produce anything but apples, right? And so when you have, and this comes with a certain sense of empathy as well. You're able to put yourself in another person's shoes and understand their perspective and their journey and what conditioning they have experienced in order that amounted to the person who stands in front of you today, that you're looking at, that you're interacting with. But with that empathy doesn't come enabling. I think that's the important distinction that Spirit is making here. You're not enabling the other person. You're being able to hold space for them and have a certain gentleness and humility is what I'm getting, because pride has a tendency to rear its ugly head in those situations when you're triggered, when someone else is triggered, and then they throw that upon you. And then we take personal offense to that, right? And we're like, how dare they, right? And so Spirit is saying that this is training ground, you being in the context of healing within this community, like embodying this unconditional love for the world, meaning you have a certain amount of humility, a certain amount of gentleness in your response with other people when they come at you from a triggered place and of negativity. And you're able to find common ground in order to take them to higher ground. It's like you're planting seeds within their heart is what I'm getting. And so it may not come to fruition today. It may not take root today, but it will germinate. And over time, slowly but surely, you will have been a contributing factor to their healing journey and to their evolution and to their enlightenment. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm getting. That's what I'm getting for sure. And what I was saying before was spirit was coming through saying an apple tree can only produce apples. And so it's like understanding that that person is speaking, like it's like they have unhealed beliefs that they're speaking from. They've been speaking those unhealed beliefs over themselves and they've been accepting it as truth. They've been accepting it as truth and they've been watering their tree with unhealed beliefs, with toxic patterns, with all of these traumas that they have not released yet, right? So they're just at a different point of their healing journey than you are. And that doesn't make them bad. That doesn't make them wrong, is what Spirit's saying. They're just at a different level. It's kind of like when you're a middle schooler and you understand how to do like, I don't know. What do middle schoolers know? Like a middle schooler knows how to do like algebra 2 or whatever. I don't know. That just popped into my mind. So you can do like certain like linear equations or whatever, but then you're talking to like a second grader who's just learning addition. And they're it's like they don't have the same consciousness. They're not referencing the same pillars of reality that you are, is what I'm getting basically in this like metaphor. School comes through a lot in like Spirit's metaphors to me, which I find hilarious. I don't know why, but maybe that's like my own school trauma coming through. I have no idea. But I'm joking, half joking. But so yeah, it's almost like someone else is a second grader coming at this from their consciousness, from their perspective, and you're a middle schooler. You've had, 5 more years of schooling than they have had. And so being able to understand that they're on their own path and it's not making them wrong, even though what they're doing is negatively affecting you, that's what's wrong. And so that's why I'm saying before, Spirit's saying like meeting them at common ground to take them to higher ground, like being able to open up this gentle conversation. And Spirit's saying Spirit's saying not to talk at someone, but to questions are the answer, is what Spirit's saying. Questions are the answer. Being able to open up conversation and ask questions. Interesting. Why do you say that? What's happening there? And what that's doing is that's subtly training that person to start actively asking themselves those same questions, because what you're doing is you're offering a gateway for them to be able to follow that thread back to the root of why they were triggered and why they decided to respond or react in a certain way. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Beautiful. And so being able to open up that gentle conversation and approach it with a certain sense of humility and gentleness and grace, is what Spirit's saying, is how we change the world. But that starts with you being in this beautiful connection with these friendships and relationships in your life. And it's coming into a deepening. It's coming into a certain like, oh my gosh, like root. It's taking root in such a way because you have done the healing work within. Like I said, you've been so consistent. You have showed up for yourself so much every single day is what I'm getting. And so because of that, you are now ready to go further. Right? As we all contribute to this new earth, this new world, what it looks like to embody higher consciousness and love for everyone around us. And that's how we create a world that we truly love and we want to live in, right? And so anyway, I think this is absolutely beautiful. I love you guys so much. And yeah, I think the way that I'm going to be showing up here is definitely going to change. It's going to be a lot different moving forward, but I'm still kind of figuring out what that looks like and how exactly the logistics are fitting into place with that, tech-wise and everything. So I'm doing a lot of research right now into like, I don't know, different things. So anyway, my point is though, in the meantime, we're focused on accountability and consistency because I believe that those are acts of honoring the self, of loving the self, right? And so anyway, that is what we have today. We're also showing up with jacked up hands. I usually do my nails, but today was just a day. And I was like, you know what? We're just going to show up anyway. And, bare nails and all. So it is what it is. But anyway, thank you so much for existing and being such a special gift to this world. It was such an honor getting to sit with your energy and hopefully helping just a bit as we continue walking each other back home to ourselves. So I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.